What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdcastle for the next episode of Battlebrothers. My name is Splattercat, and I'm happy to have you here today as I attempt to, my god, there's like this little notch on the side of my chair. Every single time, there's this little tiny notch, and it's really, really unthreatening. It's not something you would notice until you have a really, really thin cable that runs to your headphones, and it's weird how frequently the cable gets caught in this little notch, and I'm just like, ah! In the previous episode, Linux has ceased its development because Torvald is now dead. It's unfortunate. There's nothing that we can do about it. He's got a really, really good vantage point from the top on us right now, and so the only way we're really gonna be able to alleviate this is by actually having a view of the battlefield. I really dislike that feature. Is there a way I could turn that off? Like, I don't like how it goes to the top and the bottom levels. Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing right here that allows me to keep this fully expanded. Like, I don't want it to go back into the fog of war and keep going down to lower layers every single time I change turns. The layers don't actually impede your vision that much, so there's no reason for it to do it. It's just kind of like a comfort of living type thing. Oh, there it is. Give him a mace to the back of the head. We're fighting with King Emmerich up here. I'm hoping we don't break his stuff too much because, he's got really nice stuff, and I sort of want it. I mean, that's one of the big things. That's why we run around murdering people, is so we can take their stuff. That's one of the major benefits to all this. I think that a good plan would probably be to fire at this dude if I can get a shot off. I don't think I'll be able to, though. I'll have to go around this way. Let me see if I can get around over here. He's hiding behind a bush right now. King Emmerich's going to take his swing. Unfortunately, it's going to be, well, fortunately for me, unfortunate for him, it's going to be ineffective. Stab out right there, stab out right there. Unfortunately, that's not going to get me out of the combat any quicker. Let's bring another guy down to here to deal with that archer. It says there's still 4 guys remaining. Where they are 5 guys remaining. So we got 3 on screen right now. Where the rest are, they're probably hiding, cowering somewhere. You'd think it would be in their best interest to attack in mass, but they never do. They never do. I don't know why you would attack in mass. That doesn't seem to be the right measurement to get this all done, but grams. I strike you with a 3-gram strike from my spear. A 3-gram strike, huh? That's all you got left in you? It's been a long day. I'm tired. Don't judge me. Well, with the Scramasax at 14%, he does have adaptation, though, which means that he should... See, he missed... Last time he hit both using the power of his mustache, and that time he missed on, like, an aim shot. Sometimes things don't make no sense. They get confusing. Well, until we get back to somebody with an axe, which the guy with the axe got killed trying to break the shield. Unfortunately, we're just going to have to deal with this. Yeah, I really dislike that feature. There it is. Let's take this guy out so that we can rush this archer. Oh, is another one? Is this my archer? Okay. This is my archer right here. He might hit the bush. I could just rush him and negate this as an issue. Oh, there's a guy right there too. Well, that sucks. Okay, run away. This guy is going to hurt you very, very badly if you don't. 49% chance right there. Unfortunately, a spear does not get through chainmail so wonderfully. What do we have right there? A flail. Keep hitting. Just keep on swanging. A little bit more damage out right there, but on the plus side, that should have been a critical hit, so we're good. See if I could break this shield finally. There it is. The shield is finally broken, and in fact, knocked into a different hex. That's how angry we are about this. Just, wow! Like when you're angry about a meal, you just flip it off the table. Just me? Nobody else does that? Alright, whatever. What just happened right there? Did I kill 2 people? What just happened? There's 2 dead bodies. That's weird. Hold on, look, see? There's 2 dead bodies right here. Is that the same bandit thug? Oh, it's a different bandit thug. I think maybe they died on the same spot, and so to differentiate the bodies, it scoots him over. That's what made that look so weird, but it looked like he launched a body out of his spear and out of the way. Like he spawned 2 bodies out of one stab. That's impressive. He's a magician. He's a wizard, although I wouldn't admit to that in this time period. You didn't want to be a wizard in this time period. Bad things happen to them. Let's see. I should probably reroute a couple people to go up here and fight. Spearmen down here, probably not of much use. Let's go ahead and push to the back of the field and see who else we can find. We may be able to take this group and sweep up the back and maybe help. He's not going to take a shot on his turn. Over here with the maces, 34% chance. Unfortunately, nothing's going to land right there. I'm going to scooch him on forward to protect the archer. The archer's going to take a shot with his 30% chance, and he's going to nail both of them down, so kind of like. We got one guy killed by an archer, they got one guy killed by an archer. King Emmerich's going to start taking some damage. His helmet has been destroyed to show his fantastic hairstyle. I think we should have a, 60% chance to take him out now. We should be able to cut him to pieces. Ooh, he's still being kind of dodgy for how many wounds he... Why did you get an extra attack right there? That was weird. I should probably go through and read like what all this stuff is, but he just got an extra attack right there. I didn't click 3 times. I clicked twice, and he should only have the AP for 2 strikes, but he got an extra win. I respect that. and I appreciate it. It's something I will thank you for and be like, hey, thanks for bludgeoning that guy's skull extra. Even though you're only on the paycheck for like 2 swings, I'm glad that you did 3. It shows initiative. I appreciate you. I'm going to put it up for a management vote. Maybe we're going to bring you on up. We'll make you an assistant to the regional sergeant. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. We've got a empty hex right there. We've only got 2 guys left. So I figure if we just start sweeping out this way, we should be able to find somebody. He only dropped a mace, and I was hoping he dropped something a little bit better. The rest of them have got to be on the back of this little mesa over here. Yeah, there's an archer right there, so that's what we got to watch out for. Alright, well, let's flood everybody up the hill. I mean, these 4 should be more than enough to handle that, but we'll bring everybody else along too. I'm just glad that our expensive armor didn't get dented along the way. My armor, it has to be shiny at all times, or else I feel like I'm failing as an adventurer. As an adventurer, as the Burgermeister used to say. 30% chance to hit right there, and it came out pretty well. Did a little bit of damage, knocked off almost all of his armor with 1 broad-headed arrow. There's like a 1950s joke in there, but you know what? We're not going to do that today because, I don't know, soggy knees or something. Let's go over here. Something tells me it's going to backfire. Something tells me that joke's going to backfire. And so anytime you start to get that 6th sense when you say a lot of funny stuff, you start to get a 6th sense for the things that are going to get you in like way more trouble than they're actually worth. Like, yeah, it'll be kind of funny for like 8 seconds to like 5% of your audience, but then like the other 90% will be like, that guy's a dick, and then you'll be like, well... Then you admit to thinking it, though, which is always my problem. Like, I think the joke, and then I block it off on the front. I'm like, yeah, that's not coming out here today. My girlfriend says that I have a face that I do. Like, when she can tell that I have a joke that I've thought in my head. Like, when she says something and I have, like, a retort or a comeback, she says I have a facial expression. And then she's just like, you should just spit it out because you're already guilty because I can see it on your face right now. I'm like, damn, that's magical right there. That is magical. I think this guy... Yeah! That archer is doing work today. He is actually getting stuff done. Where's our other archer at? Oh yeah, he's the guy with the scramasax. He stabbed a dude to death. He had to give up his ambitions as an archer and stab a guy. Every now and again it happens. That's a real life situation. Sometimes you gotta give up your dreams and stab a guy. A little bit of damage right there. I would be worried about that combat though because he doesn't have very good armor. And so this game is all about you engaging people who have no way to defend against you and like staying away from the people that do. For example, this king, whatever the hell his name back, I don't know, Erasmus or whatever the hell his name was, he's scary. You want to mob in on him with like 500 people if you can because he's got the gear to actually throw down and kill a bunch of people if he can get into a good tactical position. Like, if he had actually gone in between this bluff and this tree right here and just sat right here for a little while, he could have done a lot more damage than he actually did. It would have been nasty for us. I'll probably, I don't know. I have no desires at all right now for what I want to do with my characters. The bowman looks like he got confused. What is going on? There we go. Finally it unstuck itself. I have no clue what just happened right there. It got stuck. I sat there for like 5 minutes, and I went to the bathroom, and when I came back, I caught the tail end. This guy goes whoosh and swings his mace one time, and it like fixed itself. No idea. I'm just glad I don't have to do the combat over again. That's all that I cared about. If I had to restart, I could make a cut. A cut is perfectly fine in the middle of my video, but I just don't want to restart. Please don't make me do it. Really? You missed 2 72s in a row, huh? I understand how statistics work, but it seems like I always felt like the gambler's fallacy is sort of like it ruins the point of statistics in the first place. Like, hear me out. Just this thing that I was thinking about, and I know this is stupid. I know it's ridiculous because the gambler's fallacy is a thing. Can I kill you this turn? I would love to kill you this turn. You're like, no, I like living. I have lots of things to do today. It is allergy season, though, so if you could just put me out of my misery for a little while. If I die, I'm not going to be that upset about it. That ragweed has just been absurd up in this area recently, and I just don't know how to deal with it anymore. So anyways, as I was saying, there's a little bit more damage, and now his morale... Why do people keep taking double strikes? That is the oddest thing. He just attacked twice, even though he only had 5 AP. Did I purchase some... Did they change some trait that I didn't know about? I gotta figure out why people are double attacking here. Alright. So unfortunately, Torvald was a victim in this whole thing. The loot totally sucked. Well, we got a lot of money, actually. We got a great deal of gold. So while the loot was not, like, stellar, I was hoping we'd get some chainmail or something out of this. While the loot was not incredible, we did get a lot of money, which money's always useful. We did get a lot of food, too. Got some tools as well, so maybe that'll help out. Got a couple level ups we're going to have to deal with, but let's head on back. We're going to collect our pay from Reichmark Castle, And let's jump on into here. So what's going on with all this? So you're a spearman. I want you to have HP. We're going to give you melee skill and then melee defense because it's a good plan. And then you've still got to have perks. So what's going on here? Because some of you guys are getting like double attacks right now and it's super crazy and it's weird how it's all working out. It's not that one right there. Maybe it was like a status effect you get when you have really high morale or something, where you have a chance to like double attack at the end of your turn or something like that. But I have no clue. All these guys were taking the initiative and just like throwing out extra attacks. I don't know what to say about it. I usually like to know the origin of things like this, and as of right now, I am stumped. Like the tree in my backyard, if I had a backyard with a tree in it that had been stumped. Yeah, longest simile ever. Let's see, shield damage is reduced by 50% to a minimum of 1. That would be cool if I did anything other than charging and headbutting and biting. If I ever like managed to block, that would probably be a decent plan. What does this one do? Executioner. Let's go with Sundering Strikes, because getting through people's armor seems to be pretty important. On this side, we've got to give him the exact same level. All my melee guys, I'm basically going to do the same thing every time that they level up, just because it's useful like that. I'd like them to have good melee defense. I'd like them to have good melee skills so that they can hit more frequently, and then extra HP always helps. Now with him, it might be nice to put in a couple things of resolve instead of HP. Maybe the next couple level ups will give him some resolve so he doesn't break quite as quickly. Right now, he looks fragile, so... On the perk side, he's got the XP gain. He could take Shield Bash. Pathfinder, he could actually reduce the AP cost, or he could go with Quick Hands. I've heard that Quick Hands is pretty good because you can actually take bows, and you can have everybody have a bow, and everybody can have secondary weapons too, and because they have a free action swapping things around, they can fire until the enemy gets to your lines, and then once they get there, you can all swap in your shields and swords and whatnot, and it works out pretty well. We've got Taunt, we've got Bags and Belts. I'll probably go with... Colossus. Hit points are increased by 25%. That would raise him up to like 69, 70 HP. That'd be quite a bit. Shield Expert. Shield defense bonus is increased by 25%. Okay, and it also applies to... Where's the shield defense bonus on this list? Like, were I to do this, let's test it. It looked like it increased those by a little bit. By like 4 or 5 each. That'll work out though. I'm not planning... I mean, the shield wall in this game is a very, very powerful, very, very sexy, very, very attractive thing. And once you see one, you're like, yeah, I'd like to be a part of that. And so I've been really trying to make sure instead of HP, you take Resolve right there because you guys have really, really bad morale. Continue working on all your melee skills because obviously you are a melee combatant. You do have an implement of pointiness and stabbing on you. Let's see. Shield Bash. I'm just trying to spread things around a little bit and figure out what stuff does. And so shield damage is reduced by 50%. That seems kind of nice too, especially if you're going to be somebody that's using a shield anyway. So we'll give that a try and see how it plays out. This guy, how's your resolve looking? Let's give you a little bit more. Oh, I don't want that. Can I undo that? Damn it. I don't want that at all. Well, we'll keep working on him. He's only level 3, so it's not that big of a waste. Probably go after something like Fast Adaptation. Over here with Hartmut. Probably his HP looks fine, so we'll raise his resolve a little bit. Go for some of that and some of that. Looking good. You kind of build everybody the same way. I'm not really experienced with the game, though, so I could be doing this completely and totally wrong. I could be making like a really, really bad battalion right now. Although they'd probably be happy about that. We're like, yeah, we're the bad battalion. Get themselves like a little smiley face logo or something. We've got... Battle Forged. You can actually reduce their armor damage, which seems like it might be pretty good too. Might try that one out for a little while. For the Archer, I think that's probably a really, really good thing to take, the Fast Adaptation. Do I have an extra shield he can have? I do. Throw a shield on him for when he gets into combat, and then we'll give him, he's got a spear. That's perfectly fine. And then the other thing we needed to do was to give him his stat points. His resolve is really, really, really low. So we'll raise that up. Let's keep giving him range skill, even though he's not very good at it. And then instead of that, let's give him a little bit of initiative, I guess. I want him to act quickly in combat. This gentleman over here, no level up. Gebhard, we have a level up right there to level 2, so he must be one of our new guys. And that explains why his stats are so low. Oh my god. Alright, Gebhard, we need to work on you. We need to work on you, my friend. I could probably give him the Akiton, so there it is. The Aketon. if you will. And then I'll probably give him Battle Force so he takes less damage, more likely to survive the next couple fights. He's got no hat on at all, and that's not acceptable. So throw a hat on real quick. He's got none too, so there it is. His armor's almost broken too. Alright, well, we got our cash. Back to Reichmark we go to spend some of these Deutschmarks or Reichmarks or whatever you want to call them. I don't know, these Kroner. We can throw our Kroner up at the ceiling. I always like that word. 30,000 Kroner bounty. It's a cool word. It is a cool word for currency, Kroner. I don't know, it sounds edgy. It sounds like what heavy metal guys would use to trade stuff. Like, I will give you 35 Kroners for the most brutal of hairstyles. I'm like, okay. You return to Reichmark Castle, and before anybody can say anything, you toss the bandit leader's head across the mustering quarter. With the proof of your contract's completion on the ground, you are quickly handed a satchel of crowns. Sadly, there are no taverns or brothels to spend the earnings. Instead, you only find weary men staring at you as you count the reward. Their jealous eyes seemingly make you out to be the very bandits you just got rid of. Soldiers and mercenaries did not get along, and this is no place to rub in the most crucial difference: pay. You make your leave, dumping the last of your proof into a pig pen on the way out. Wow, we fed that dude to the pigs? That's pretty G'd out, man. That's pretty hardcore right there. We do have enough cash to buy some new stuff, though, and so I'll probably do that. We could buy... That's not as good as I thought. It looked kind of sexy. It looked like it was a little bit poofy, like it might be helpful, but I don't think it is. Do all of my archers have hunting bows? They should, right? Who else is an archer here? Somebody else is an archer. And I needed them to swap into their position. There he is. So he's got a hunting bow. I felt like their range was really, really bad on the last fight, though. I guess I'll take that. There's no reason to have too many ranged guys. They are pretty good once you get them leveled. But up until that point, they're just sort of like meh, like around. I'll probably vendor a lot of this stuff because we don't really need it. Keep a little bit of it in case we have to hire a new mercenary. We've got Eric over here, but he's overpriced for what he is. 110 for a guy with no armor and no weapons. I think I could do better. I think I can do better. Get rid of some of that. 125 for each Warhammer. A little bit right there. Get rid of you. Alright. All of these can go elsewhere. We'll keep a couple of those weapons, and now we got the cash that we need. The cash for the stash, so we can buy ourselves some new gear. So I'll probably just spend a little bit of money on chainmail. We got some scale armor right there. Is this armor made to scale? Never mind. And then we need some shields. I could probably upgrade the shields a little bit. This would also be a decent time to stock up on all the stuff we need in order to continue adventuring. But let's get some new hats first. I like that hat right there, the nasal piece. It makes you look like a Muppet, but at the same time, the nasal piece does look like it would protect your septum, just in case you wanted to keep it intact. Let me take one of those guys too. That's a little bit expensive for my blood. We got to make a little bit more money before we can afford the really, really big expenditures. But over here, what do we have going on? So we'll give you some scale mail. There it is, or some chain mail. I know the difference. It looks like that's probably going to hurt his... Yeah, his fatigue's looking a little bit sketch right now. He's not going to be on the front line, so I don't think that he needs it. Death Wish. Superstitious. It's a picture of a kitty. Meow. I like kitties. Kitties are awesome. On this side, we'll go after... It'll lower his fatigue a little bit, but... I mean, you can't argue with the protection that we're being given right now. On that one right there, we'll swap that in. What have you got going on? There we go. And so, hand-me-downs in the name of the game right now. That should get everybody into armor, though, I hope. Or at least partially into armor. Everybody's wearing at least leather at this point, which I think is a very, very good thing. Let's start working some of these guys out of these crappy hats. We'll give him an Akaton. There it is. By the power of Akaton's Akatash. I said Akatosh's Akaton. There we go. It's a tongue twister. It confused me. But the joke is ruined at this point. I was going to say, by the power of Akatosh's Akaton. I'm like, wow, that's a saying that could just, like, go. Well, I suppose that kind of got, like, derailed right there. But we'll go to Marburg. We've got bandit hunters over here who are puny. If you're hunters, why do you need to take to banditry? Is there not much game around anymore? Like, no, it's hard to find poker, or we can't even play craps anymore. I mean, we've come up with, like, sort of a modified version of craps, but, you know, we don't have all the things that we need. What do we have over here? Rambert the Sergeant. Probably go with Wolf the Sergeant, since he seems to be equally equipped. Sounds good to me. There's our 12th guy. We're bringing him on in. We can field a full force now. Looks like he came with basic mail. He came with a short sword. Go ahead and take that Warhammer right there. That's all on you. And then we will give you just that right there. I mean, I think that one's better, but I think that one looks sexier. So he is going to be very, very, very susceptible to crits. But for right now, I'm pretty pleased with what we have going on. Let's find a job, shall we? Reach Hammererden. He wants to pay us 240 crowns. Alright, well, since we don't have much of a choice, I guess I'm going to hit the road. It's unfortunate that they run away from me because I know I can't catch him. Hammererden, is that one of the ones that's up in the north? Okay, so we'll earn a little bit of money on our way back to Hammererden. For right now, it looks like we actually have a considerable walk in front of us. And so since we're getting busy walking this way and making with our Steve and Tyler, I think I will see you all later. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Battle Brothers. I look forward to seeing you all in future episodes. As always, I hope you decide to join me for the next episode. How you doing? I'll see you next time, everybody. It'll be back up maybe tomorrow or the next day.